Hello, hello, welcome. Here we are. My name is Preston Jacobs. I am broadcasting from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. I'm joined once again, by the Carmine Henderson, broadcasting from where are we? Where are you again?
Somewhere.
Somewhere. So tonight I wanted to talk about the AI scandal with regards to the A Feast for Crows Illustrated Edition. You guys may have heard a lot about it. There's been updates. There's been a lot of updates. Carmine has been on the pulse of this, talking to actual artists, actual people involved. You talked to the artist a little bit, right, Carmine?
No, I tried getting him. I messaged him privately. He never got back to me. I don't know if he was told not to talk to me. And but I am in conversation with someone who works at Random Penguin House.
Yeah.
I am in conversation with several artists, professional ones, some who worked on previous illustrated editions, and some who have worked for Penguin Random House before.
So I would say right now, besides the people that are at Penguin Random House and the actual artists themselves, I am going to say that Carmine knows more about this issue than any person on the planet. He has studied it. He has looked at the pictures. He has talked to people. He has talked to people in the industry, and has the most information here. So I am.
I wouldn't go that far, but sure. I've
Yes.
done more. I've done more research and more due diligence on this than the average Ice and Fire YouTuber who just looked at the picture and said, "Ew."
Now, so in a background, the on November 3rd, you said, or was it November 7th? November 3rd. When was it the illustrated edition?
I believe the Feast for Crows Illustrated Edition was released on the 3rd. Usually the illustrated versions are always released on the 3rd of November.
And
the 4th.
This
4th
is
of
the roughly the 20th anniversary of Feast for Crows being released. They released the illustrated edition. There's been 3 other illustrated editions for the 3 previous books. People were pretty happy with them. And then this one comes out, and the pictures immediately, when fans hit it, shocked them in their quality, in their inaccuracy to what's going on in the text. And thus, there was a big discussion of whether or not this was AI. And there's an analysis of these pictures to determine whether they are AI. The scandal made it back to the publisher and the manager of the project, Rhea Golden, who posted a response to this, where she said that she claimed that that to their knowing, AI was not part of this, and they asked the illustrator who denied using AI, and she believed him. Later, she edited her message to remove the "and we believe him" statement from that, which is a pretty. That is one of the more shocking things. Is the actual editing of the post. Let me see if I can find you sent me the before and after. But I'm seeing if here it is. Let me show this, yeah, because this is pretty big. So this is on the Nada blog, and she went here and said, "To our knowledge, and as presented by the artist who completed the work in question, there was no such programming used. While he is a digital multimedia artist and relies on digital programming to complete his work, he has expressed unequivocally that no AI was used, and we believe him. This was later edited to he has expressed unequivocally that no AI was used." She went in and edited this to remove the "and we believe him" aspect.
Before you continue on this, I want to share some information in regards to Rhea Golden. Rhea Golden has worked for George R. Martin for about 14 years. She has worked on previous illustrated versions before. Clearly, she dropped the ball on this one by her own admission because all of it goes through her. And we will go through some of these pictures tonight. If this all went through her, then either she's never read George's stuff or she was not as involved as she says she is. One of the two.
Yeah.
So
now let's look at a couple of these pictures, because I think if you haven't seen these pictures yet, they're pretty shocking. And now for a regular like Ice and Fire fan, you know, on our level, like, and people watching, I'm talking all of our level, like, you got to understand that we're completely insane, and we're going to notice super insane things. But I would say there's some things in here that are so overt that it's really difficult to understand how this got passed. You know, so as an example, like, I can kind of understand, like, let's start with this picture here. And I can kind of understand why this one would get passed. Okay. This is Jamie fighting Ilan Payne, right? And it's not exactly how I would have thought Ilan Payne would look. I thought he would look more like a corpse. Jamie, he's supposed to have short hair and more of a beard. But those are a little off. But you can, for the most part, you see a guy fighting, and, you know, there's nothing too off about it. When I look at the buildings in the background, I do wonder why these lines aren't straight. I don't know if they're, I mean, when I took basic art classes, you know, they always have to do those lines to vanishing points and shit like that. And I don't know if is there some other style where you no longer use parallel lines anymore? Because look at that. I mean, that's a crooked tower. But, you know, something like this, I can almost see getting by. You know, it's a little stylistic, you know, but at least it's a fairly dynamic picture. Okay. That one's not so bad. But
that was Jamie fighting Stannis. Season 1 Jamie fighting Stannis, or
Season 1 Jamie fighting Stannis. But yeah. It's a Feast for Crows. So the only person he fights in a Feast for Crows is going to be Ilan Payne. So it's got to be Ilan Payne, right? You know.
Sure. By the way, the fact that he has pauldrons, keep that in mind, and he has blue clothing, keep that in mind too.
Sure. But like, taking this picture by itself, I don't know if I would have, like, if the red flags are up, right?
No, this is fine. There are some that are fine.
Yeah. Picture 2. All right. Victarion. Now, instantly, I'm just like, well, one, it's weird that he has this yellow cloak. That's just not how I would have thought of Victarion. But he's got two swords. I mean, Victarion very clearly has an axe. His helmet, strangely enough, is somewhat accurate. You know, because he has the Kraken helmet which is not mentioned very much. It's mentioned once that he's got this Kraken helmet with, like, arms coming down. So it's really strange that the helmet is actually somewhat accurate, but he has 2 swords. I don't know why they would give Victarion 2 swords. He very clearly in all of his fights is with a battle axe.
Because, well, first off, one of my criticisms was in almost every single picture of Ice and Fire art that you've ever seen, the characters from noble houses always have their sigil on them in some shape or form. Yeah. Right. And clearly, you know, the Greyjoy Kraken is on his helm, so he did good here. And I don't think there's much AI involved in this one. However, what I think happened is he thought, okay, Greyjoy, they're kind of swashbuckling pirates. I can't give him a gun, give him swords. That's what I'm assuming here. Because he got the helm correctly. That is
get the helm correct.
Represented on the outfit somehow. There it is. But this is also fine. It's just, it's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. This one has a little more, more action. So, Maribald, Brienne, dog. I don't know where Podrick is. And if he's back there, who the fuck is this old man? So but the first thing I'm just like, where the fuck's Pod? Like, why is Pod not in this photo? Or why isn't Heil Hunt? Because they meet Maribald after Sir Heil joins them, right? So is that supposed to be Sir Heil back there? Why is he an old man? So there's like,
I'm assuming the thing here is that Podrick and Heil Hunt is behind these two. That's why we can't see them. Like they're walking behind.
Who's this guy? Who this is? What is this? You know, like, why add these two people in the picture? But again, you're commenting on the blueness, on the lack of sigils. It's like this one, you know, it's a little weird that Pod and Sir Heil are not in it, and this guy in the back. But again, nothing too bad.
What's funny is Brienne in that picture is fine. I'm okay with Brienne in that picture. There's another picture of Brienne where she kind of looks like Brock Lesnar, wrestling superstar Brock Lesnar. But this one is also, again, fine. I don't see anything immediately wrong with it other than the overuse of the color fucking blue.
Yeah, I mean, no oranges. That's true. Brienne's too hot. That is true. I mean, well, in the show, Brienne's far too hot. I mean, Gwendolyn Christie is 100 times more beautiful than Brienne. This one of Arya, there's some shadows that are a little weird in this one, but for the most part, I can't
find.
Her
eyes are crooked.
What's that?
Her eyes are crooked. If you zoom in, her eyes are crooked.
Oh, really?
Zoom in a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
You see it?
What you're saying. And the shadows are a little weird, but because I'm trying to see here. Let's see. Right, because like you're getting a ship shadow going here to the right, but then these ones are going here to the left. This house thing is
the cat's legs are also a little messed up.
You know, but it's not bad. It's cockles, clams, and oysters. This is all a cat of the canals, kind of, you know, she says there's cats around. That one's okay. It's certainly not egregious. I think, you know, people focus on the egregious ones. This is the Aaron baptizing someone.
Yes, I believe so.
You know, not exactly how I would have thought of the baptism, because usually it's like struggling them to keep them down. And then I guess maybe if like after he passes out, he lets them float for a second, he could pull them back up. I mean, it's a little weird, but it's not the worst. But it kind of reminds me of the Nevermind album
Nirvana
cover.
album. Mm-hmm.
Right? Let me see this again. Trying to think of the Nevermind album. Oh,
I wouldn't put it up here if I were you.
Oh, because of the penis, the baby penis.
Yeah.
How about I do the Weird Al album cover?
Is his cock out?
No.
I guess that's fine.
So the weird, like, it does. They are reminiscent. Yeah. No. Kind of funny. In fact, I think there's is this Ryan Locke? Here, this is someone recreating it, but he's kind of in the same. But you know, it's very common for artists to take pictures and then recreate them as like when I was a child. Like I used to notice, like in my Marvel comics, like because they would come out in similar months, like after Playboy magazine would put out something, like a few months later, I would see a superhero in the same position. Usually, the female superhero was in the same position. I'd be like, "Huh, that's so weird."
These last few that you've shown, they have not been bad. They've actually
No,
been
no.
pretty like
That's the thing
okay.
is I think people when they heard the story that people show the egregious ones first and they don't show like the full portfolio because also you got to remember Raya Golden is going to be looking at the whole portfolio and so it's not she's not going to be taking one photo or one picture. She's going to be looking at the whole portfolio. And so like when you see these like first ones that are okay, then all of this, the other ones like maybe don't stick out as much. So this is supposed to be Hota and Obara Sand.
Obara Sand, you mean Michael Jackson?
Yeah, she does look like Michael Jackson here.
A little bit. Look
Oh
at
my
that. Come
god, with the with
on.
the with the one strand of hair in
Uh-huh.
front of her. Oh
Super
man.
pale. Yeah.
Yeah. But Hota very clearly is supposed to have white hair. I don't, and Obara is supposed to be a tomboy and a tunic. Her having the sexy armor is um, out of character, but I don't know. I mean, everybody they like to sexy everything up for these fantasy photos, so I don't know. But
Do the whole thing like just have the whole picture in frame if you don't
sorry,
mind. Because what he did to Obara is he gave her sexy fantasy girl in video
yeah,
game armor.
absolutely.
And Ariel Hota has generic fantasy video game axe.
He does have generic fantasy video game acts.
And motherfuckers in blue. Everybody's in blue. Paul
Everybody's
Druin's
in
blue,
blue.
everybody's in blue.
Yeah.
So this
This
is
this one I would say is pretty bad in the sense that like you can just go on the wiki and it'll give you a description of Ario Hota. It's very clear that he has a shock of white hair. I mean that's what he looks like. Obara is described in detail that she's wearing like a tunic. Her whole personality is that she's this rough tomboy fighter. But here she's got some sexy.